Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome back to the channel. Today I am talking about Earthworm Jim Launch the Cow. So as you saw, that's probably a few weeks ago now, I received the whole box that was the Earthworm Jim 2 Kickstarter one. No, it wasn't Kickstarter, it was Indiegogo that I pledged to. Although I've got a lot of other things going on that I'm still trying to get around to reading and watching and doing everything I can with, I had to make time to read this. So I just want to sort of talk a little bit about it, to be honest. So obviously Earthworm Jim, this is written and drawn by Doug TenNapel. The art by Catherine Gardner, I think it is. Not art, sorry, the colours by Catherine Gardner, I want to make sure. Yeah, Catherine Gardner. That is something I want to talk about, so that's why I'm just dropping the name in there. First of all, as I said in the last video, I am a sucker for like the gold outer pages there. I really am, and I absolutely love the artwork of the cover of the book. It is fantastic, and the fact that it's raised, it just makes it so cool. It really does. So I have read this one. I haven't read 2 yet, because I am still reading something else at the moment. But overall, wow, this was just an incredibly fun book. It really was. You have I can't remember the name, but there's a queenie, she doesn't like to be called that, who wants to sort of take over the universe, and she's got a load of super suits to do that. She gets in one of her assassins, Psycho. Love the names. I love the names in this. I really do. I just love them so much. And she asks him to try on the suit, and unfortunately, there's a bit of a mix-up. The suit gets thrown down to Earth. A worm wriggles its way inside it and becomes Earthworm Jim. So this is the origin story of Earthworm Jim, and it's just so much fun. I love the fact that it doesn't take itself too seriously. I mean, you've got characters like, obviously, Psycho, Professor Monkey for a head, Princess, what's her name, and of course Earthworm Jim. It doesn't take itself too seriously. There is so many like ridiculous tropes that they just kind of play on in this. I say they, it's just Doug TenNapel that he plays on in this, and it's just so much fun. You have the fact that in a lot of these kind of animated hero shows, you've got the fact that the pocket or the backpack can just store anything, and they really play with that here in the fact that the super suit has essentially like a black hole in it, so you can store multiple things inside. I'm just gonna go to a random page. There we go. So the artwork on this is absolutely phenomenal. Obviously, the fact that it is both drawn and written by Doug TenNapel, I have a lot of respect for writers who do both the writing and the art. For me, you're up there with some of the best creators in the world. You really are. I would say the best one I can think of off the top of my head is, really sorry if I butcher the name, but Stepan Sejic. I still can't get over his Harleen run, that 3-issue miniseries. It was absolutely fantastic. So when you've got someone as talented as, in this case, Doug TenNapel, who can both write and draw, it's just a winning combo. And the other thing I do want to point out is, like I said, was it Catherine Gardner? I am so bad with names. I am terrible. Catherine Gardner. I should trust myself more often. As you can actually see, a lot of the colours are kind of a little bit more muted, which you'd think be kind of strange for a book like this that's very extravagant, very over the top. You'd want something that's very, very colourful. But it actually works really well to have them sort of slightly muted, because there's a lot of play on shadows and dark figures. So to have slightly muted colours, you can really over accentuate the shadows, and it makes it more menacing. So it's done a fantastic job of that. I'm not too sure about the name of the book, The Cow. It is only in there just solely for the fact that at the very, very end of the book, there is an interesting turn in which a cow is unfortunately just launched into space. It's very random, but that's the whole book in a nutshell. It is random, it is over the top, it is crazy, but that's what you'd want. It's what you'd want in an Earthworm Jim. It's what I'm drawing more and more kind of towards within my comic books at the moment. There's so much out there that's so dark and realistic and just sort of gritty, that it's actually kind of nice to have something that's a little bit strange and a little bit over the top. Now, if any of you have been following my reviews of some of the Image books that I've been reading, there are things that don't work so well. So Kieran Gillen's Ludocrats, that was over the top, and it was over the top for the sake of being over the top, and it didn't do much for the story. This is solely over, and it is over the top because it's based on an eccentric character. It's based around an eccentric space suit. It is meant to be over the top. It's meant to be incredibly crazy. It's meant to be very cartoony, so you can play around with these over the top tropes, and Doug does this incredibly well. And so I don't know if this is going to be available in bookstores. I hope it is, for sort of everyone's sake. But if you do see it around, if it does come back to Kickstarter, Indiegogo, I do suggest jumping onto this. It is incredible amounts of fun. It's definitely a nostalgic thing for me because I loved Earthworm Jim when I was growing up, and I am both excited and terrified. I really want to read the next one. I really do, because I loved this one so much. I really want to get into the next one, but I'm also terrified by the fact that if I read the next one, then I won't have any more left. I don't know if Doug's working on an Earthworm Jim 3. I don't know what the future sort of has in store for the character. So it's a double-edged sword for me, but I have to admit, this was a fantastic book, and I have to say, if you do see it out there, if you do get a chance to jump on it, do it. If you like the over-the-top, wacky, retro feel to your books, you're going to love this, and I cannot stress that enough. It is so much fun, and it's just a laugh. A little bit darker than I remember Earthworm Jim being. There's some bits to it that are just a little bit crazy, and just like, whoa, can't believe he went there. But yeah, I mean, it's not exactly a book for kids, but it's so much fun. Guys, let me know, did you used to watch Earthworm Jim growing up? Did you play the games? Would you be interested in a Kickstarter and Indiegogo of this? Did you miss out on it? Would you have gone into it anyway? Let me know what you think about it down in the comments. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe, as it really, really does help me out. And I'll see you all in the next video.